Make sure you check out our new sponsor, the Health Blaze. All the information is in the description. Use the promo code above. Goodfella1 Boxing at 18% off of all their natural products from deodorant, pomade, toothpaste, and much, much more. And they have additional discounts on their website as well. That's thehealthblaze.com. Starting December 20th. That promo code is good for 18% off. We go. Just got done watching the entire interview with Coogan Casters on IFL TV. I'll link it to the description with Dillian Whyte exposing Eddie Hearn. Let's get into it. Don't forget, check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. Promo code Goodfella1 Boxing. Get you 18% off their all-natural products, lotion soaps, foot soaps, bath bombs, and much, much more. Go get natural, go get right with the Health Blaze website, promo code in the description. And yeah, Dillian Whyte did expose some things about Eddie Hearn. One big thing was that how AJ was trying to bully him in negotiations. Was that AJ still wanted the lion's share of Dillian Whyte had beat him in a rematch. So AJ still wanted to make the big bank, and Dillian Whyte made the little bank in the mandatory rematch if Dillian Whyte had beat AJ. They just show you how unsure and how insecure Anthony Joshua is as a fighter. And that wasn't even the best tea, and I'll kind of say that towards the end of the video. And he also exposed that he had heard back in June that the plan was to do Jarrell Miller and Anthony Joshua in Madison Square Garden. He said, how can I get mad when I already knew that Jarrell Miller was already going to fight Big Baby Miller? Anthony Joshua was already going to fight Jarrell Miller, Big Baby. He said, I can't get mad at something I already knew. He said, I knew this since last June, I believe he said. And that just shows, once again, expose how much of a liar Eddie Hearn is. Remember, Eddie Hearn was selling the UK fans on, oh, I'm going to get Wilder over here April 13th. I'm going to get Wilder here. We're going to sell out a 100,000 seat stadium, in Wembley. He said since last year. I'm not sure if he said June, but I put the article, I put this interview in the description on the source link. He said, I already knew he was fighting Miller. That was the plan. And at the end of the day, I told you guys that was the plan as well. That he was going to fight Miller in 2019. But hey, people gonna keep believing in Eddie Hearn that he's a big liar. And basically, Dillian Whyte said he went over to the United States and didn't negotiate with nobody. He just went over there to see Pacquiao, but he did. He ended up letting the cat out the bag. But obviously, whatever the offer was from Showtime, it wasn't good enough for him. So he's going to stay with Eddie Hearn, and he wants to be the big fish in the small pond. Now that AJ is coming over to the United States, so it makes sense that Dillian Whyte stay with Eddie Hearn and be the Sky pay-per-view ticket puller, because I heard Sky's upset because Anthony Joshua was going to the United States, and that their pay-per-view was going to take a dive because their pay-per-view is going to probably be on 5, 6 in the morning instead of 10 o'clock at night. So they're going to take a dive over there because of the timing of the United States card, and the pay-per-view will be later that night in the UK or early in the morning. So that's a big issue and a problem with Scott. Their money gonna die. So Eddie Hearn had to retain Dillian Whyte, and Dillian Whyte is now pretty much the A-lister for pay-per-view fights over there. As far as at the UK right time. Okay, that's pitiful. That's laughable to most casuals, hardcore, and purist fans in the United States. Dillian Whyte being the pay-per-view pool for any country, that's a joke. Everybody knows Dillian Whyte in the United States would probably be, at best, a slightly below average name in the United States. Now, Dillian Whyte don't have no name over here now. But Dillian Whyte would be nowhere near a pay-per-view scenery, even if he fought Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua, Big Baby Miller in the States. They know that's a joke. That's the biggest joke you could tell, that people would pay 20 pounds for Dillian Whyte, and people would pay $5 on the ESPN Plus app to see Dillian Whyte in the United States. So, if people wondering, before we get more into the video, why didn't Dillian Whyte take the money and go with Al Heyman? He said he would have if he was promised a Deontay Wilder fight, but I guess they couldn't promise him that he would have to fight Brazil and then fall into that. But what's so funny about it is that Dillian Whyte, his names are Alexander Povetkin, Brazil, and Luis Ortiz. We know Luis Ortiz not even a real name. That's just a clout chase, okay? And that's if, Brazil wants to put his mandatory status on the line and fight Dillian Whyte. And why would he? He's the mandatory regardless. Whatever soft touch, bum bash you take, he's still the mandatory for Deontay Wilder. So why would he risk going to the UK getting robbed versus Dillian Whyte? It makes no sense. Dillian Whyte is still the WBO mandatory. He still could be AJ opponent later this year. Just makes no sense. It sounds like they got lined up Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin. Another bum bash, another stupid pay-per-view that anybody would pay for. It's dumb. But, to continue to go on what he said, the big thing that he said is that he's seen from Steven Espinoza and PBC when he met with them. Remember, he said he didn't meet with them, but he ended up saying, like, I did see the $50 million was there. He said, man, you lying. He said, well, Wilder didn't. He asked for a contract. We asked for a contract. He said, I seen it with my eyes. He said, you see the $50 million in money? He said, no, but I seen it with my eyes. The $50 million was there. And Eddie Hearn tried to go use Wilder. He said, you see how Wilder said he had opponents for 2 years. He wasn't trying to fight AJ. At the end of the day, don't weasel your way out of that, Eddie Hearn. Now that your daddy confirmed the $50 million was there, everybody knew the $50 million was there. And then your pet AJ said, "Oh, I'm not sure. I didn't really ask for $50 million. If that's the case, give me $100 million then." You know what I'm saying? Now he exposing himself, and anybody can't see the pilgrim Eddie Hearn is a liar. Dillian Whyte said, "I seen it with my own eyes. The $50 million was there," and everybody know that the $50 million was there. Everybody know Al Heyman got the pockets. He got the bread. He got the investors. Look at PBC. Remember they said, "Well, PBC is losing so much money." In the beginning, PBC would never keep going on. It would never last. Remember, now we saying the same thing about the Zone. But the difference between the PBC and the Zone is PBC got results. You know what I'm saying? The PBC lasted. It was on NBC Spike, and now it ended up going back to Fox, which is one of the biggest investors they got. It's on Showtime, and now doing pay-per-view. Would the Zone last on an app? It's the question to ask. But at the same time, he just confirmed that the $50 million was real. He said, I seen it with my own eyes. Eddie Hearn, you see Wilder not trying to fight us. Look here, at the end of the day, the reason Wilder and them didn't send a contract, because they sent you proof of funds and said, would you accept the proof of funds? And if you will or won't accept the $50 million, it's contingent on if we send a contract. That's just what it was. If they say, okay, we accept the $50 million, Eddie Hearn and them would have got a contract. But it was no point of Deontay Wilder paying the team, paying people to get the contract, notarized and all that, send a contract, and then they don't sign the contract or they don't want to fight. They never said we wanted to fight. See how Eddie Hearn leaves gaping holes out of his story? He didn't tell you the part where Team Wilder said, okay, accept the $50 million, we send proofs of fund. If you accept it, we'll send the contract. All of a sudden, he wanted to say, oh, they didn't send the contract. So he's a big liar. At the end of the day, Dillian Whyte not going to go with PBC because Dillian Whyte is the man in the UK right now. Now that AJ moved to America. Remember they were just saying, why would AJ go to America? He can sell out a 100,000-seat stadium in Wembley. Now, all of a sudden, they tapped out of the UK. There's no more money there. It's dried up. Now you got to come to America and try to get that bag. And Dillian Whyte is going to stay with Eddie Hearn. Okay? He's not going to take the risk of going over there fighting Luis Ortiz, Joe Joyce, or he's not going to take the risk of going over there fighting Dominic Breazeale and none of them dudes. He's going to sit there and probably fight Povetkin. They're going to put it on pay-per-view, and a whole bunch of idiot UK fans are going to buy that pay-per-view with Dillian Whyte and Alexander Povetkin like idiots, and they're going to try to sell it as the best thing smoking. Everybody know Alexander Povetkin is done. If he loses to Povetkin, hey, he don't deserve to fight nobody. Okay? So we already know who the name's going to be. It ain't going to be Ortiz. It ain't going to be Breazeale. It's going to be Alexander Povetkin. Okay? I don't know who Usyk going to fight. Usyk makes their cruiserweight. But at the end of the day, Dillian Whyte did expose Eddie Hearn. And at the end of the day, Eddie Hearn is a liar. He's trifling. He's a bum. He's a pilgrim. All those things, man. So at the end of the day, we'll see. We'll see. He said already that Jarrell Miller fight was already in the works since last year, and we already knew that. We knew he wasn't going to fight Wilder. You know what I'm saying? We knew that. So at the end of the day, Dillian Whyte just exposed what we already knew about the money, about them not wanting to fight Wilder, and about everything. He's stupid enough to stay with Eddie Hearn, but I understand why. He pay-per-view in the UK. He don't care about going to America and being one of the guys because he won't rise above the competition level. He might not be Dominic Breazeale. He damn sure ain't going to be Luis Ortiz. Is he going to be Andy Ruiz, Adams Noznak? He's not going to beat the Meredith World Fighters over there. So why not just be that guy and fight the Povetkin on pay-per-view and then wait to get AJ fight at the end of the year? That's just what it's going to be. AJ not going to stay in the United States because his number's not going to do good enough. They're going to do Dillian Whyte at the end of the year, then Usyk towards next year. And it is what it is, man. But Goodfellas Sports TV, I'll link that interview on the source link in the description. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Don't forget we on Facebook, Twitter. You can reach out to the email if you got business question, inquiry, or sponsorship. Also, don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Hillblaze, at thehillblaze.com. Promo code GoodFellow1Boxing. Get you 18% off their all-natural products, lotion, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, and much, much more. The website and promo code is in the description. Don't forget to use that promo code, get 18% off their all-natural products. And I definitely appreciate everybody for checking in. If you want to make a donation to the channel, that link's always there. You can do me one better and just share the videos. Appreciate everybody that came on live with us earlier. And I might squeeze another live in towards the end of the day.